you know, this is America and this is Florida. Supposedly, we're even more free in Florida than other states. We don't have a state income tax. There's a lot of freedoms that we appreciate here in Florida. One thing we don't appreciate are a bunch of cops sitting in the middle of the road and stopping every car that comes by. When you have places to go, you have people to see, you have things to do, and now you're stopped and you've done nothing wrong. You've done nothing wrong to deserve an interaction with cops. And this is what we call a DUI checkpoint. This is what we call sobriety, DUI checkpoint, whatever you want to call it. These things are legal if and only if the cops do certain things right. I will tell you this, the court system frowns upon checkpoints like this, and I want to read to you what one of the courts said about these checkpoints, right? In this country, the police are not vested with general authority to set up routine roadblocks at any time and place. Can't do it. This is America. Rather, law enforcement is placed on notice by our holding in Jones, Florida Supreme Court holding in Jones, that the stopping and detaining of a citizen is a serious matter that requires particularized advanced planning and direction and strict compliance thereafter. This leads us into a little chat about a case called Guy v. State of Florida. And Guy has severe driving problems. He is a habitual traffic offender. And if you drive like that, you get a felony. And that's what Guy was arrested for, felony driving on a suspended license, driving as a habitual traffic offender. He also got a DUI at this DUI sobriety checkpoint. Now, you might be thinking, what do we defense attorneys do with a situation like that? I'll tell you, we file what's called a motion to suppress, saying Guy should have never been stopped because the DUI checkpoint that was established was not legal. And these things have to be super clean and super legal. Now, what I mean by that, overarching themes on these, officers can have no discretion in terms of what cars they decide to stop. That means zero discretion. So it all has to be in writing, folks. All of it has to be in writing. And nobody can have any discretion. The time, the place, every officer's duty, which cars they're going to stop. Are they going to stop every car, every third car? And they have to strictly adhere to whatever plan is in writing. That little preface leads us up to the Guy case. And Guy challenges the DUI sobriety roadblock checkpoint, and he's denied. The judge is like, no, I think this thing was a good checkpoint. I'm reading it. And when you read it, it says, well, the officer said they were going to stop every single car. And they did. Duty assignments are very important on a DUI checkpoint. And it looks like the duty assignments checked out. So this was legal. Here's your felony conviction. Guy, have a nice day. Well, Guy appeals his felony conviction and says, I still don't think this DUI checkpoint was right. And on appeal, the appellate court said, you know what? Yes, the plan looked okay on its face for stopping every car. But when you read closely, it also says that if traffic builds up, then the sergeant that's in charge of the roadblock gets to change the plan to maybe every other car, maybe every third car, every fourth car. They get to change it if there's a traffic buildup. Now, the appellate court's like, well, this is Florida. Of course there's going to be traffic. You're going to stop every car, and you don't think that you're going to cause traffic? Folks, for those of you that aren't in Central Florida, it rains here a lot, almost every day. And you will get traffic just because it's raining. Even though we drive in rain every day, rain will cause traffic. You don't think stopping cars with flashing lights, a bunch of cops on the street, are going to get you traffic? Of course it is. And the appellate court said, this is not a good plan. There's too much discretion here. You cannot have a plan that the sergeant can decide, oh, I think there's traffic, let's change how many cars we stop. Also, another interesting thing, duty assignments have to be in writing, have to be strictly enforced. So at the suppression hearing, some of the cops were like, oh yeah, you know, so-and-so was our drug recognition expert at the scene, but so-and-so had to go to the jail to do some things. And then another officer came up and took over his duties. No, strict adherence to what was in writing. What was in writing was that officer so-and-so was the DRE, and then you changed it because that DRE had to go to the jail. Sorry, you can't do that. It all has to be in writing before you do it, and you don't get discretion to start changing things. Guy's convictions were overthrown, done. His conviction was thrown out. The lesson learned here is there's a lot going on a DUI sobriety checkpoint. So, I'm saying, if your DUI happened here in Central Florida, I've been defending these things for over 31 years, depending on when you're watching this, and I think we might be a good fit. I think we could probably help you out with your case. Give our office a call, and let's see what we can do for you.